Alright guys, today we got a 3500 crew cab with the HO diesel. I've been wanting to drive one of these. I haven't driven one yet. I actually have a 2019 with the non-HO diesel, so looking forward to driving this one and telling y'all what I can tell the differences are. A little windy out here today, sorry about the wind noise. I'd like to thank Victoria Dodge for providing this vehicle for review today. This is a Laramie Longhorn 3500 dually with the HO. I'm going to go over some of the features, some of the details, and then we'll go over the window sticker and then do a short drive on it. Alright guys, I didn't pull this one out on purpose today. I left it in the spot because it's cold right now. It has not been started. I just wanted to start this truck up in its cold state and just let y'all hear how quiet these new engines are. This is your new 1,000 foot-pound of torque, 400 horse Cummins. This thing is very, very quiet. New CGI block. This one has the ASIN transmission also. We'll go over that in the details. Alright, let's get this thing pulled out and take a look at it. So this is the Laramie Longhorn, pearl white. Let's get the brown bottom. This one has the cargo lights. It does have the tow mirrors that flip up. So you can see those flip. Got the Alcoa wheels. Guys, this pearl white on brown is a really nice color. Does have the cargo camera you see in the bed. Does have the fifth wheel gooseneck prep package. Sorry if the window sticker is a little hard to see. It's kind of dark today. It's overcast. Base price $61,000. Pearl white exterior paint. It's got the mountain brown interior. The filigree, the filigree means it has the stitching on the seats. I'll show that to you in a minute. It's the HO turbo diesel, 1,000 foot-pounds of torque, and the ASIN 6-speed. There's your standard equipment. We'll run through. Optional equipment on this one. Has the pearl white exterior and it has the tow technology group. That's why it has the cargo, has the mount camera on the bed, has a surround view camera. Alright, trailer reverse guidance, the safety group, adaptive cruise with stop, full speed, forward collision warning. Blind spot and cross path detection, protection group, skid plate, fifth wheel gooseneck prep, lower two-tone paint. Longhorn level 1 equipment has this Harman Kardon system, the wireless charging pad for your phone, Sirius XM, blind spot, and there's your ASIN and Cummins upgrade, 220 amp alternator, sound, the sunroof has instrument panel, auxiliary switches, engine block heater, dual rear wheels, and the chrome tow hooks. Sticker price $83,635. Okay, here's your interior. These are the Longhorn. This is the filigree stitching that they're talking about. If it does not say filigree, it won't have these stitches on it. It'll be the same color, just without the stitching. Fold down console, 2 cup holders. fold this up, of course, these will make a fold flat floor across, and you can lay those across the whole way. And then under these compartments is storage. And I think that's your harness for your auxiliary switches on the dash for the instrument panel. We'll go over those here in just a sec too. Does have heated rear seats, and those are USB and USB-Cs, and it has a 110 plug in the back seat. That's the memory seat controls. You set all your radio stations, set your seats and your mirrors, and you hit set on those and it'll hold all those settings for you. Automatic lighting, your adjustable pedals, your volume controls on the back of the steering wheel, 12-inch screen, and the inside of the truck, and the sunroof. One feature that's new for these trucks is you do have the power folding mirrors, which is nice. They do fold in and out electronically now. The other nice feature is if you hit this little convex button right here, get your left mirror convex button. We didn't get it that time. There it is. Your convex mirrors are actually adjustable on it now, which is a nice option. And then if you look, if you put your cargo light on in the bed, you'll see those LEDs light up at the bottom of the mirrors. And those actually shine light, which is nice when you're getting in and out and you're hooking up a trailer at night. I use them on mine. It lights up so you're not stepping in the dark and you can see where you're going. It's a nice feature. Down here, these are the auxiliary switches. Your trailer brake controller, CD player, USB-Cs. Each one of these can be programmed. We'll go into the dash, I'll show you all that. This is tow haul mode. It's trailer brake mode. If you push trailer brake mode once, it goes in exhaust full on. That means you let off the gas pedal and the exhaust brake's gonna work as soon as you let off the pedal. If you put it in auto mode, which is the automatic exhaust brake mode, you push it again, that means the exhaust brake doesn't engage until you touch the brake pedal. So you actually have to touch the brake pedal for the exhaust brake to work. Parking sensors for the front, parking sensors for the back. This is the backup cam. It shows your lines if you're hooking up a trailer, which is nice. You can actually see a mirror if you're looking at both sides of the trailer. And then that's the cargo. If you're hooking up a fifth wheel or anything, it's really nice. You can see that. You can even hit the zoom in on any of those features and it'll zoom in for you. When you go back to controls, we can hit the surround camera. And this is part of the towing technology. It actually shows you a top view of the truck with all the cameras. It puts all the views together. And when you're backing up, you're backing into spots or something like that, or you're backing around, you know, something, you've got a curve in front of you, this camera is really handy to have. And then you can set this one to show you other views also. Front. And then you can actually adjust the center line if it's off to your hitch a little bit, left or right. And then you've got the same three settings that you had before. Traction control off, hazard button. X this off. X off controls. Go back into your satellite. You got AM, FM, your Bluetooth, all that right there. Navigation. Backup camera. And then you can go into the apps. There's all kinds of stuff in here that you can control also. Heated steering wheel, heated seats. I think most of that's under control also. So if you want to turn on the heated seat, turn on the heated steering wheel, it's very easy to do. One touch the button. Four-wheel drive controls. So we talked about the auxiliary switches. You can go into the commercial settings of the truck here, and you just enter in your passcode, and then you go into this right here. So you can set up each auxiliary switch to be, you know, latching, non-latching, whether it's the ignition switch is on or off. You can have power, or you can have switched ignition, however you want to set them up, which is really nice. And you can program each one of them individually, how you want them to work. Up top on the overhead console, that's your sunroof. Of course, it's raining today, we're not going to open that, but you've got the open and close, you've got the tilt to vent, and then The switch on the far right is to open and close the rear sliding window. This is for your Uconnect for assist. This is the SOS. This is if you don't want the interior lights to come on when you open the door. This is to turn the interior lights on manually, and then this is your tailgate drop button right here. This truck also has home link, so you can program your garage doors. So another thing I wanted to show on this truck is the payload. So if you look, this truck has a 5,263 payload, which includes your cargo, trailer weight, all that stuff. So of course it's a 1-ton dually, it's going to have a high payload. So this is my first time to drive an HO Cummins with a high output with the Aisin transmission. I have a 2019, like I said earlier, and it has the non-HO. It runs very well. I like it. It gets really good mileage. I don't do a lot of trailer pulling, so I don't necessarily need the HO. But it'll be interesting to see the shift differences and how much more pull this engine has compared to the other one. So I'm going to comment on that also. And before we pull out on the road, the other thing this truck offers is adaptive cruise. And so this button here, if you look, when you turn it on, that's a standard cruise control. It works just like every other cruise control in every other vehicle. It doesn't do anything automatic. You just set it and it maintains the speed. If you turn that back off, you come back down here. If you go up to this section, this is your adaptive cruise control section. So if we push that button, you'll actually see it shows the distance. So that's the amount of vehicle distance you want in between you and the other vehicles. So you can set that to 1, 2, up to 5, I believe. And then all you do is set your cruise control and it'll maintain that distance. So it'll speed up and slow down with whatever's in front of you. When we get on the road, I'll try to show y'all the stop and go function. This one actually is just stop on the 1-ton, so it will slow you down, but you'll actually have to push the brake if you come to a complete stop. But I use it in traffic, and it actually like if traffic's just moving, it's slowing and speeding up a little bit. It does really well and maintains the vehicle really well without having any input from me. Another thing that's nice on the dually is I just pulled up the air pressures. You can actually see the outside tire pressures and the inside and the front. Okay, so we're doing some town driving. I'm going to set the adaptive cruise. Just going to show you all how that works. So I've got it set at 43, let's say 44 miles an hour. So my foot is not on the brake or the gas pedal. And we'll be rolling up to a red light here in a minute. And as you notice, the truck is slowing itself down. It's going to stop with the car in front of it. Now if the cars were to take back off, which you may see here, if they don't come to a complete stop, like I said, no input from my feet. The truck is speeding back up to the speed I have it set at. On this truck, if it comes to a complete stop, which we should see at this light, it'll hold it, but for about 2 seconds, and then it'll tell you you're going to have to push the brake pedal. Watch. This is a solid red light, so it's going to do it this time. So I've got my foot ready. Well, if we don't come to a complete stop, it's going to go on its own. It didn't. So if you can imagine in stop and go traffic how nice this feature is. And my driving impression of this HO so far is it definitely, on the shifts, it feels like the torque is immediate on the shifts. I mean, you can tell this thing is a beast. It just wants to pull. And I think it actually feels like it shifts a little bit lower RPM because it has the more horsepower and torque. And I mean, when it makes that shift, you just feel it, and it's pulling immediately as soon as it's in the next gear. The 68 RFE is a very nice competitor to it. You know, it's just not as heavy duty as the Aisin. Here we go again. We're doing a stop. We'll see if no, it's not going to do a complete stop. Okay, no input from my feet again. It handled that completely on its own. And if you're not a technology person and you don't want to use this stuff, you have the option to turn it all off in the screen for the most part. And you can use this cruise button here instead of using these top buttons. Some people like the technology and some people prefer to not use it. Well, back to what I was saying about the engine and the ASIN. The 68 RFE is a good competitor to it, and it's a good transmission. It's just a little smoother shifting, and I think it's more for like your everyday driving. It does have good tow ratings. It has good everything. The ASIN is just kind of like an upgrade to it if you're gonna, maybe be hot shotting, or if you've got big heavy trailers that you're gonna pull. And you can see it in the ratings on the vehicles for what the HO offers for tow ratings and what the standard option offers. So we'll get it back down to 55 miles an hour. Reset that miles per gallon. Of course, this is a dually with the 410 rear end, so that light you see there is basically, that means that in the settings, the pre-collision with the advanced braking is off. And when I pull over here in a minute, we'll go through some of the screens and some of the settings, and I'll show you how you can turn that feature on, and then that light will go off. It's just telling you it's not activated. So it means you basically could run into somebody and the computer is not going to assist you. But if the pre-collision's on and it sees you coming up on somebody, it will actually assist with braking and slow you down before the incident. It's not made to prevent the incident, but it's made to help assist you. So I'll get pulled over here in just a second and we'll go through some of these menus. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll go into apps. So I was already in apps. Go to settings. We'll go into safety and driving assistance. And so what we're looking for is the forward collision warning. You see how that's off? We can turn it to where it just warns and beeps you, or you can turn it where it's warning and active braking, right? And then how sensitive do you want it? Near, medium, or far? Near, that means it's gonna go off if somebody pulls out in front of you at a pretty good distance. So I usually leave mine set at medium. Then you can go through these settings and change your park cinch, your blind spot. If you want these things off or you want them on, I like the lights and the chime. Power side steps, you want them automatic or you want them to stay tucked in. Hill start assist, you can turn that on. Tire feel basically means whenever you hit a set pressure that's supposed to be on the door, the horn will honk at you. So while you're filling your tires, it'll let you know when you get to the right pressure. You can turn that feature on and off again. As far as lights on with the wipers, all those features can be adjusted within the screen. We'll move back over here and you can change these to boost, trans temp, fuel range, anything that you want to do as far as the setup. We'll go in here, I'll show y'all real quick. 9. So we go to the screen setup. Let's say the upper left up there where the compass is, right? So if we want that to show the outside temp, see it changes. The time, range to empty, average economy, current economy, trip A distance. You can see you can just scroll through all of these and select what you want to see up there. So if you wanted the trailer brake or you want the oil life, or we'll even do boost pressure, right? So we'll hit the forward button, that setting's saved. Even over here on the left side or the right side, see where it says range miles over there? So if we wanted to change that, we can do range to empty, we can do average economy, trans temp, so you can actually put your trans temperature up there if that's what you want. So very customizable in the screen on how you want to set it up. Let's back out of this. And then you go through these screens, that's your air pressures, temp, and you can see everything. across that. Boost pressure, particulate filter, fuel filter life, battery voltage, exhaust brake horsepower, and then a list. And you can leave any of those up that you want to see. And if you leave something at the bottom, a lot of times where it says to, like vehicle info, that always defaults back to the speedometer. So even if you don't have it on the speedometer, you'll still get that digital up top, which is nice. So if you want to watch your fuel economy, if you let it sit there, the speedometer is going to pop back up. That's your def level gauge on that side, and your diesel on that side. Noise levels, I mean, there's hardly any road noise in these cabs. They've done a really good job on these cabins with their noise canceling, with their soundproofing. It's just amazing how quiet these are. And driving this 1-ton truck, you know, used to, they would just felt like they'd beat you to death. And I'm telling you, this 1-ton, it's pretty impressive. I mean, I've hit some bumps and barely feel them. Feels really good.